Like here, I'm jumping off the platform, expecting an attack, but the witness turns its head and looks at me. Like, why is the witness turning its head and looking directly at me? That's spooky.
Defenders of Soul, hear me now. Moments ago, one fire team infiltrated the witness's monolith and shattered its hold on the Traveler's light. Their courage bought us one last chance to finish this. But the witness still lives. The Guardians and their ghosts will face the witness, while we eliminate the remainder of its forces. Our final chance at freedom lies on that field. This enemy has taken so much from us all. Elixni, Cabal, Awoken, humanity. I've, the witness, started this war long ago. But now, we end it.
Wow, nice. Good job, me. You're ruining the moment by opening your menu. Why would you ever do that? Okay, anyways. Cool cutscene. Pretty epic. Cool to see all the forces come together. Pretty crazy to see, you know, Elixni, Hive, Cabal, humanity. Not the Exo. I guess Exo are wrapped in humanity, but the Awoken. Wow, very cool. I think the only problem I have is this location is kind of oddly nondescript. Like, we're just in this random cavernous, rocky, reddish location. Like, maybe there should be like some hint of, you know, Black Fleet architecture somewhere. Also, the witnesses' forces are just in the background, standing still and not doing anything. They're just listening to Commander Zavala's speech as well. Like, why? Why are they also listening in on the speech? Like, maybe have them further back or have them moving in or something to, you know, increase attention. Like, while Zavala is like giving the speech, you know, I don't know. Like, they don't need to make it that complicated. Honestly, like, it's okay that they're in the background, whatever, right? You know, it could just be they're far away. But it's really the location that is weird because Zavala is just standing on like this elevated rock in the middle of like nowhere. It's weird. It's just weird. It's weird, isn't it? It's just weird. Like, why? Like, why? Why is this not like the base of like where we're about to enter? Why is it this weird ass location? But no, anyways, that aside, Zavala has also apparently already mastered stasis. I mean, I guess that's why he's the Vanguard commander. He's that much better. He's just super skilled. But yeah, pretty cool to see him jump in. Good for Commander Zavala. I actually cannot believe I opened the menu right there. Insane. I can't open the menu at the end of the cutscene. Why would I do that? Anyways, excision time. All right, we go ahead and load in.
First fire team in there, don't hesitate to engage.
Fly, Guardian! The Witch Queen and I will prevent its escape.
And your allies will fight at your side.
This is what we were made for. I'm with you until the end.
Empress, we are opening. Send in our forces.
All right, so we've arrived at this location. Why didn't the cutscene just take place at us raiding this location? Like, this is visually infinitely more interesting. Why would it just be at, okay, anyways, getting stunlocked. Oh, bro, I'm in the middle of the execution. I changed my weapon. Wait, that was cracked. That's 300 IQ. I'm actually so smart. In any case, because this is just a normal encounter and non-legendary difficulty, this entire encounter is pretty easy. But it is cool to, you know, be fighting alongside all the forces of, you know, mentioned earlier, and being alongside multiple other Guardians. Not just multiple other Guardians, but 11 other Guardians. It's a lot. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty hectic. I've not played this on Grandmaster, and I plan to do so because combat-wise, I really don't have anything to say, you know. We just have to claim 4 territories, which are just, you know, capture the flag locations, and each of which, you know, showcase off some of one of the different groups. So yeah, you know, not that complicated. All right, with all 4 territories claimed, we can head in.
This is it.
We are the first line. We are the edge that carved purpose into being. Your resistance will be remembered within the shadow of the Black Fleet.
Wow, so we get a proper look at your boy. Pretty insane. The detail on its model is actually crazy. Like you can see all the little grooves of its like pleated suit, I guess. That's the best way to call it. You know, it's massive, by the way. This is me zoomed in on my bow. You know, the hands spreading behind it are kind of like the wings of an angel. We see the smoky head dissolve into, you know, multiple amorphous blobs. It is also, you know, pretty cool to see that the orange strike we dealt against it is still lingering, and you know the effect is definitely apparent. We also are able to take a look at the giant beam of energy in the background. Pretty intense. So overall, I mean, Bungie and the designers at Bungie did an excellent job with the Witness. Like, you know, the Witness was semi-intimidating before, but this fully realized, you know, model is pretty epic, and it's also not only, you know, intense in scale, but it's also like quite elegant in design, right? Witness is, you know, all about like, you know, precision, let's put it, and this very sleek design is at odds with a lot of what Destiny has currently, but design-wise, like the sleekness and the bold production and presentation is quite in line with actually how Destiny presents itself as well. So, you know, just good job on the design of the Witness, and cool to see the Witness's final form realized like this. Pretty epic. Visuals aside, moving on to a little bit more of the substance that is said by the Witness. So the Witness claims that they are the first knife. So it is interesting that they are calling themselves the first knife first specifically, because first implies there being multiple other knives. But why would there be multiple other knives if the Witness is planning on enacting the final shape? I guess this just could be, you know, the Witness just using the phrase like this, you know, we are the first knife, because, you know, they were the first ones to properly attack the Traveler by like, you know, interacting with the Veil and becoming one creature. So it could be in that regard that they were calling themselves the first knife, but then it would be odd that they would be referring to themselves as first in the first place, because if they plan on enacting the final shape, there's not going to be a second or third. So I feel like it's purposeful that they're calling themselves the first knife. I just don't know why they would be calling themselves the first knife. But with all the writing and everything thus far, it'll be like, I don't believe like this is just a one-off word choice. I'm pretty sure this is fairly purposeful, especially since it's not like the one that says Tiffany line sauce, and this is definitely a line we are meant to hear. The following line, we are the edge that carved purpose into being, is a little bit more self-explanatory. I mean, it's not even like the first line. It is that confusing aside from that one, you know, word. The Witness is all about, you know, trying to find purpose in the universe or whatever. And, you know, they seek to the Traveler, and, you know, Traveler couldn't give it to them. And then they seek the Veil, and their purpose then became, you know, destroying the Traveler and enacting the final shape or probably, you know, linking the Veil and the Traveler together. But I think they already did that technically. So I guess it's just destroying the Traveler. That's their goal, to destroy the Traveler. And in that scenario, they became the purpose for us to stop, right? Because we want to stop the Witness from destroying Traveler, because if they destroy Traveler and enact the final shape, we will be destroyed. So in that way, they found purpose and gave us purpose in turn. It's pretty interesting how this is all thematically tied together. I think I'm missing a lot of information though, because that feels like a pretty surface level analysis. It's like, oh wow, great job. You're gonna rival Ant with that one. But yeah, it feels like I'm definitely missing a lot of context. So I'm sorry that I'm not able to properly read into what the Witness might be insinuating within these lines, especially since, you know, there's more information we get later on that also makes it a little bit more confusing. But yeah, that's not a great analysis on my end on these lines. Apologies for that. I do wish that I had a little bit more context and information on what is happening here though. As for the fight itself, I mean, it's not too exciting. We just have to defeat some cornerstones of the Witness, which are subjugators, and wow, I died there. Amazing. After defeating the cornerstones, we are then able to collect and draw from the Traveler's Light, which we then deposit in its required location. I mean, it's not compared to the raid, not mechanically, this is so basic. Like, it's actually crazy how simple this is, but you know, there's also 12 people, so a lot is going on. It's not really like it's difficult though. It's just a lot is happening. All right, we go ahead and gather enough light. The witness. Why do you continue in this irrelevance? I mean, to the witness, if they plan on enacting a final shape, of course, our resistance seems futile because we're trying to stop them from enacting the goal. But of course, to us, it's not irrelevant because, well, we plan on continuing to live and not be finalized. Of course, I guess the witness could then be talking about, you know, purpose as in the universe and our state and being as a whole. But in that case, you know, it's not like my answer changes that much. It's just that the witness is has only gone through first order level of thinking in this thought process. At least through the lines of dialogue I've heard here. So here we actually return to the statue room and are able to destroy all the statues. Wow, pretty cool, pretty cool. After that, we go ahead and become a glyph bearer. And after receiving Traveler's aid, we are then able to attack the witness directly. So out of the hands, the witness shoots these attacks, these beams of line. They're pretty telegraphed. I mean, the difficulty does seem to mainly come from, like, wow, literally everyone on that side was annihilated. If it's always in the same order, I mean, they're pretty telegraphed, right? I think I died to these a bunch, but it's not even like, you know, they're that hard to dodge as long as you know that they're about to come and you know that you're paying attention. It's more of like, you know, this attack surprised me because I was like, okay, well, I wasn't attacking to jump up on this platform and then have the witness fucking blast us with beams of darkness. It's like, okay, well, what is happening here? I did hear that, you know, everyone knows about the still hunt at this point though, because it's been like a while. Wow, I was like the only one alive, but yeah. But in any case, it seems like the strategy is just use a machine gun to do ad clear and then use the still hunt to do damage to the witness during DPS phase. At least that's what I leaned on doing here because I have to do DPS to the witness. Like, look how much damage we did not do. This time I also destroyed way more statues because, you know, I did not get I destroyed 2 statues last time, right? I have to even it out. So I did a decent job this time around. So here we're pulling out the still hunt. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots. Wow, 4 shots. Boom. Cade, Retribution. That's a lot of damage. We see someone else also pulled out the still hunt. I managed to avoid the first beam attack, but then I trolled and didn't. I think I had to walk a little bit further back. It's really, really hard to tell because I'm completely zoomed in. And I think this is probably on purpose, right? They want you to focus on like this one area and they want you to zoom in so you're not focusing on like the witness's hands. So, you know, pretty good design on that front. Also, it's incredible, like the chest is incredibly detailed and zooming in with the still hunt really reveals how massive the witness is. It's like, it's massive, but like it is massive. Like, geez. I do like how we're destroying like, so I assume the glyph breaker buff, it's like we're destroying the glyphs on its chest to expose its heart. Pretty interesting that its heart is like this silver veiny thing. Also, I really just got destroyed by the witness again there. You are nothing. Oh, that's cold, buddy. We're doing a ton of damage here. Gonna pop it out. Honestly, so here, because the witness looks at me, I actually think I ended up doing the last amount of damage to take it to enrage. Because if we look here, I take out my arcane needles and shoot it with it might have been the arcane damage, right? It might have been the arcane damage from the needles. I say arcane damage, I mean the strain damage from the arcane needles. Or it might have been my still hunt, question mark. It just might have been the shot from the still hunt that last 1500 or so. Because the witness turns, like the witness, okay, I shoot. And as I'm moving off the platform, like here, I'm jumping off the platform, I'm expecting an attack. But the witness turns its head and looks at me. Like, why is the witness turning its head and looking directly at me? That's spooky. That's crazy. So I assume that I was the one that broke the glyph last, or I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, but it is cool that, you know, the witness straight up turned its head to look at me. That's definitely like in the moment at the time when this happened, I was like, what the? Why is it doing that? Don't do that. All right, so after we break the seal, we show that shape it isn't final. Nice one, Cade. Very cool. Let's go ahead. What can be made can be unmade. That's right, we're gonna channel the Traveler's Light through our ghost. It takes me a second to figure out what I need to, but go ahead and use my super and we're channeling a beam. well, we're channeling 2 beams of energy through our palms. So I'm pausing it here, and I wonder if they didn't make us channel 1 beam with both of our hands together in a palm because they didn't want it to look like a Kamehameha, even though we have Chaos Reach, which is basically Kamehameha. But yeah, honestly, this is pretty epic. I mean, I'm not sure how else we really would have been able to destroy the Witness, you know, except if we didn't use our Ghost to channel light. Because, you know, the Witness channeled darkness through our Ghost to attack the Traveler, and we channel light to destroy the Witness. Wow. Look at that.
I don't understand.
So at the very end there, the Witness goes from we to I, which is interesting because it's a collection of identities. And at the very end, I guess there is some sort of understanding that this collection of beings is one person since they're identifying with one concept or something. I mean, I'm sure, like, it seems like there's probably some greater meaning behind this, but it feels like I'm lacking enough context. But, you know, it's pretty wild to, you know, hear the Witness go from we to I. Not sure what the meaning behind that is. But the final animation here, where we see all the souls presumably escape. I mean, I have no idea what is happening here or how this makes sense, but pretty wild. You know, I did try to get up closer and take a look at what is happening at its feet, but just seems like the model is disappearing as well and exploding into this firework looking particle effect. Wow. That's it. That's a Witness. Immediately, we're taking it into a cutscene though.
No! Ghost? Please. Bring him back. He's just a ghost. You raised an army. You can bring back one ghost.
He sure shined bright back there, huh?
Cade.
What comes from the light returns to the light. My gal Sundance told me that. She also said we're all connected. Guardians, ghosts, the Traveler. Now you tell the others this was my choice. My light. Nobody makes my fate but me. You're my favorite. Don't ever forget that.
Guardian. There you are.
And with that cutscene, Cade's storyline and time back is wrapped up in a pretty neat bow. So there was a lot going on here thematically. So first of all, we Ghost, you know, we channeled too much power. It was always hinted at that, you know, Ghost is going to die here. And this is how it happens. You know, we channeled too much light and we managed to defeat the Witness. But in the end, Ghost had to die, you know? In this moment, we seem to enter some sort of metaphysical realm encapsulated by the light. We are inside the Traveler after all, so this could still... So, I mean, this might as well very well be like, you know, the Traveler just expressing its feelings. But we obviously, you know, asked the Traveler for help, and the Traveler does not respond because, of course, as shown before, the Traveler gave us our ghost, and that was its purpose. Somehow Cade finds his way here, but, you know, we're not going to question it too much. Here, Cade, you know, references Sundance, and Sundance even appears for a brief moment next to Cade. So bringing back the memories. So if we do remember what Cade said all the way back, whenever in the messages cutscene, he would, it's not even with the messages cutscene, back when he talked about Ikora and we returned, he admitted to wanting to return back to the feeling that he experienced when he was encapsulated in the light, since it was fairly peaceful. Like, he admitted to wanting to return to that state. And he also admitted to not wanting to live without Sundance. And he also, passed on the torch to Crow as the next Hunter Vanguard. So with all of that, Cade feels like he fulfilled, most of what he was supposed to do. And he understands the feeling of a guardian losing their ghost. And so with his last bit of light and energy, he decides to make his own fate and return our ghost to us. This way, not only does he return our ghost to us, so we are no longer separated from our ghost, but Cade in turn returns to his ghost and is returned to the light. So, a neat little bow tying everything up together. Cade even calls us our favorite. I'm sure to those that knew Cade and formed an emotional attachment with him, this line and this entire scene was probably, tear-jerking. Let's go with that. I mean, even for me, even though I don't have the greatest emotional connection with Cade or whatever, I mean, it is thematically a really nice wrap up on everything. So, I still have to give commendations and kudos because, even though I don't have the maximum intended feeling, I don't ever think I would ever get that maximum intended feeling in the first place. But I do definitely still feel, what they are going for. And I'm definitely appreciative of, how they wrapped everything up nicely and how they even returned our ghosts to us. Because, the question of how our ghost was going to return after they died was always something that was on my mind. And honestly, this is a really good way of doing it, because with this, Cade's storyline is wrapped up. They answer, what would happen to Cade after the wish or whatnot. He passed on the torch. His role is pretty much completed and his character arc is finalized since he even made up with Crow, who was previously Aldrin. So honestly, they really did, max out Cade's arc. They probably also didn't want to continue hiring Nathan Fillion. He's probably pretty expensive. So with that, they gave him the proper send off because he did die pretty abruptly, and this is it. So great job on the character arc front and thematically, story wise, narrative. I mean, wow, the narrative team at Bungie was really popping off with this one, huh? All right, after that, we have another cutscene.
It's definitely healing, but we've still got a lot of work to do. Surviving witness forces, clashes with the Lucent Brood.
So much change. We've been fighting for so long. And now we've won.
I thought it would feel different.
Well, maybe because we haven't celebrated it yet. Guardian, Ghost, you're just in time. Tell them Cade wouldn't let a little work get in the way of having a good time.
You're right. For now, our task is appreciating this moment.
And after that,
We'll face the future when it comes.
And with that, final shape is not quite over just yet. So, visually pretty impressive. I mean, the lighting here is crazy. Like, sheesh. I mean, wow. Oh my God. Like, this is a pretty good scene, visually, pretty nice. I mean, obviously, we get a little memorial of Cade at the end, showing us back at the tower. I mean, of course, I can't not mention, Crow's haircut. It's not even really a haircut. He just pulled his hair back. Does it look better? I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different style. It would be cool to have character models be able to switch their styles in-game easier, but that's just not how it works. I mean, because you could change your styles much easier in real life than you can in games. I mean, I guess they could swap out character models, but that sounds annoying. But in any case, the change in hairstyle is also indicative of, a change in character, growth, blah, blah, blah. The whole 9 yards. Not really too much else for me to say here. Just a nice wrap up. Okay, we get a cool little cutscene. One of the inkblot cutout cutscenes, that showcases a bunch of stuff, wrapping up everything. I mean, I'm not going to play it because, to be honest, if you care, just watch it. I mean, you've already probably seen it. It's also just something that I don't really have anything to say or comment on, but looked cool, was epic, and was a neat wrap up. And this visual image of us overlooking the incision made by the witness onto the traveler in the distance is quite an epic vista, to say the very least. Gradias vobis agimus. I assume that's Latin. I could Google it, but I'm not going to go to. I assume it's probably just thank you or something. But here at the end, we see these little 3 sparks of light / energy burst out of the traveler. Very, very interesting.
Went like a shockwave through its troops. The instant it was destroyed, things shifted. Most of the witness's followers fled when it fell, but its most zealous believers are still carrying out its last orders. Ziva Warath is still out there, mortal, moving in the shadows. House Salvation has turned on itself, with Aramis nowhere to be seen. Savathun and the Lucent Brood are trying to claim control of the Pale Heart. With the witness dead, both Scorn and Taken are directionless. To put it simply, in the wake of the witness, a power vacuum has been created in the universe. Who knows what will try to fill it? But out of all of this, the most worrying thing is an aurora. It's bleeding out of the Traveler. Light and darkness venting into open space over Earth. We designated a no-fly zone within 100 kilometers of the aurora, enforced by Alliance cruisers. So far, no one has tested it. During the initial formation of the aurora, a piece of anomalous matter erupted from the Traveler, moving away at relativistic speeds. We tracked one out to a distance between Neptune and Jupiter, in the orbital path of Nessus. Then we lost track of it. I've got hunters in the field investigating.
Thank you, Crow. I'll leave it to you.
Copy that. I'm headed back out to the field myself. I need to see if I can pick up Fickrell's trail. Find out what's going on with the Scorn.
Keep me updated. And good work.
All right, Crow fills us in on, all the events happening after the death of the witness. Because, just because the witness is dead doesn't mean that everything is still, well, I was going to say, everything is not still, because the witness failed. So the planets keep on spinning, the worlds are turning, and there's still stuff out there. There's stuff we gotta do, I have no idea if anything is supposed to happen after the end of that, but I just get stuck at the screen for far too long. Like, I hit escape and, I'm literally hitting escape and nothing is happening. Nothing is skipping. All right, we head back to the Traveler, the Pale Heart, and talk to our ghost one last time before we finish things.
We're all connected. Your light, mine, Cade's. He sacrificed his life so mine could shine again. I can feel him still. Sundance too, I think. Tarj. All the ghosts and guardians who are a part of the Traveler. The witness wanted to provide purpose to the universe. But purpose is ours to choose. Our fates are ours to make. Cade decided his was to reunite us. Now we get to ask the question the witness wouldn't allow anyone to. What do you want our future to be?
And with that, the Final Shape campaign has come to an end. Well, technically, it hasn't ended for me because, I still have to do the raid blind. So, make sure you join my Discord. But that wraps things up. Not too much for me to really conclude here, but yeah, pretty solid campaign. Definitely the best. I do kind of wish that we got a proper 8th mission instead of Excision, I'm not gonna lie. But I did like the cutscene in Cade. I did like the final cutscene, the music, the missions, the gameplay, honestly, all pretty good. So, congratulations on the final sheet, Bungie. Too bad it was not enough. That is a real bummer. To conclude the end of this video, don't want to damper the moods, but at least the final sheet exists and the content exists for now. So I'll give Bungie credit where it's due in that regard at the very least. I will be back with episode 1 echoes shortly. Like and subscribe for more Destiny 2 from this new player point of view. Epic.